See, it wants to curve, and I don't know why. Here, I'll turn it this way then. That's a little better. Still not high up in general. Eddie Beck Speed Cooper showed this on YouTube. He created it, as far as I know, but he does it faster than I do. Eddie Beck Speed Cooper. Everybody in my church, even the guys in Sunday school, says, "Well, Bill, you still do it fast." I show it mixed, and I go. They said, "Well, Bill, still that's fast." Yeah, but if you'd watch him, he does it. I don't know how he does it, but he does it even faster. And I add my checkerboard mix and do a Stephen Brundage spin, and you can see it's all mixed. And with any kind of mix, you can take another cube and do the show all sides match. Okay. Then when I do this again, let's see. Well, but it got caught. Well, it got caught. There. But anyway, there it is. Eddie Beck Speed Cubers, this is his version. If you watch my maneuver and play it back slowly in slow-mo, there's a thing where you can change the speed on YouTube, as far as I know. I hear people in the comments say you can do that. You go up one, and then you come over this way, and then it comes over this way, then this comes down, and this goes in the back. And see, I call it Mickey Mouse. See how it looks like Mickey Mouse ears? And with this pattern, on the top or the bottom, it's the same pattern, so I can still do the same thing. I just take the bottom and reverse it by bringing this up and bringing this back, and then, oh boy, I forgot. It might be a 1, 2, I think. 1, 2, or is it 3? It's a 3. And then this is a 1, back up. Let me double check it. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's 1, 1, 1 each way. Just I made a wrong turn, but either way. So you get up, round, that goes that way, that goes that way, that goes that way. Till you got that pattern. Then you just reverse it by going up, back, this connects, this goes up. And then when you make that pattern, I do the check. You know when you do a checkerboard where you go once, twice, 3 times. 3 times the charm, as Copperfield says. David said Cuck in Copperfield. Alright, born again Christian illusionist, Jewish born, but he's a born again Christian. Alright, and then you do the 1, 2, 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and usually the checkerboard is solved. But this puts it back into the pattern. Look for the Mickey Mouse ears, and you just go up, up, and you just do the opposite of where you're going. And see, what's that other one? Oh, the Akira solve. Everybody does this way, that way, this way, that way. This took me a long time to do what they were doing. I had to do it slowly at first. You just got to reverse the process. Wow, I don't think I'm doing it right. I'm so used to going fast. See, I done messed up. See, when I'm used to going fast, it's hard, because of muscle memory, it's hard for me to explain it. Now, I can't be too far off on this. See, that goes there. I don't know, I might have messed up. Usually if I'm not too far off, I can put it back. But in this case, I think I went a little off of here and there. Well, anyway, I'm going to have to solve it, because there's no way around this. Man. Anyway, it's a good thing I know how to solve it. See, put that there. That's in the right place. These two got to switch. So it's a twice once. See, that's right. I forgot what I was doing anyway. This is once, twice now. Was it once, twice? Yeah. I would have had the corners in position, but I wasn't thinking what I was doing. Anyway, I look for patterns. This is a pattern Jesus helped me to come across. Cut my solving time. Come up to put that where it needs to go. My dad Bud, I taught him how to get the top and the middle. When I went to the bottom, I lost him. It was too much information. My sister Cheryl too, but later on Cheryl would help with a friend if she was able to figure it out. But now she ain't did it in a while, now she's forgot how to do it. But I got her on camera doing it, so it's proof in the pudding that she did know how to solve it. It's always important to practice, because if you don't practice, you lose it. Okay. Alright. Now the snake, to put it in a ball, that was easy to memorize. That if I ain't messed one in a long time, all of a sudden I got it solved. And Daniel Dry said, how'd you do that? I was trying how to figure it. I said, I learned that in the 1980s, and I still remember it. See, if I wasn't talking, I probably would have had the medals done by now. So when I talk, it kind of slows me down some. See, when I don't talk, I get quicker. But anyway, here's the Akira JC Sum Akira gear saw. And reverse, that last part I have trouble with. But everybody else has got extra arm strength that they can go, including Henry Harris. He does it so good. It comes down so quick, it's like, how'd you do that? Although people in church see this all mixed and they go, how did you get that solved so quick? And then Mind Blown Illusion showed me this way on YouTube, where you go, and it'd be like a Stephen Bundy routine to put it in a bag or behind your back, a one-handed solve. And then this one magician was teaching this other guy magic tricks, including the gear solve, but I noticed he did the gear solve different. He did it like this. And something clicked. I go, light bulb lit up. So wait a minute. That's the mind blown one-handed solve. So that version of gear, it'll do the same as mind-blowing magic of the one-handed saw, like in the bag and all that. So it tells me there's a way to make this do a one-handed saw, but I ain't figured it yet. And this is a Stephen Brundage. I don't even know if the camera's catching this or not. There we go. And see, that's a mix of Stephen Brundage. This is a mix. And then we come around. And here's another Stephen Brundage mix. One, two. Oh man, I made a wrong turn again. That's why I don't like doing that one does too much, because the bottom will mess you up. That's probably why Stephen Brundage said stick to the other two, because that one's kind of risky. It's kind of, it might goof up. There are times when I don't goof up and I do it right, and when I go and then the thing's solved, because it's like shink, 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 and then the thing is solved. But unfortunately, man, I did it again. All magicians say that when you're doing anything, including Rubik's Cubes, it's important to know how to get it back to where you need to get. So it's important to know how to solve it. Alright? Of course you could take the stickers off, but you know when you do that, the stickers get unsticky and you wasted your money. A lot of people say that's what they used to do. Well, since I knew how to solve it, I didn't do that. I used to take it apart and put Vicks rub, I forgot what you call it, and I typed it for that one guy, Camden. He wanted to know if it was the same size as these speed cubes today, and I let him know in the live speeds text at least 2 different times that, but 2 different ways of saying it. But basically, I said in the 1980s, the Uno Rubik's Cube was a tad bigger than a speed cube, including our Uno Rubik's Cube speed cube, and they are created different than the way they make them now. And to make them smooth, I use Vicks Vapor Rub, whatever that stuff is. You take it and you rub it on your chest, Vicks Vapor Rub stuff. Anyway, they use that to lubricate. But nowadays they use a special number spray to lubricate this cube, and it works way better than the Vicks Vapor Rub or any kind of lubricant you use to lubricate the cube, whatever suits your fancy. They said a long time ago there was a certain lubricant that people used to use, and that after a while it would start eating the plastic. Well, we know that we just stick with the spray then. Like there's a certain spray to do the rough and smooth for the invisible deck. But if you look on YouTube, a lot of people will teach you how to do an improv invisible deck without doing the rough and smooth. There's many versions of that version. But like I tell everybody, I do the invisible deck like I saw Copperfield do at the Chrysler Hall in Norfolk, Virginia. And someone on YouTube, someone uploaded him performing it. And Bob Schofield, church member, Lutheran magician, born-again Christian, Lutheran church member, friend since 1980s on up, he does it exactly like David Copperfield. Now, David Blaine's style is good too, where you just think of a card. David Blaine Street Magic. You just think of a card, and all of a sudden the card is there. And on Oprah, he did it that way too. He took the invisible deck up a notch. Okay, now what was I doing? See, that one's right. That's right, I got to get the corners in position. That one's right. This one comes over here. That means this one comes here. No, that ain't it. And where does this go? Okay, this goes here. Yeah, this goes here. See, that's called color line when they're all matched up. Color line. Now, in position means they're not color line, but they're in position that each colors match their center pieces. I know a lot of people say the centers don't move. That's true, but when you get a picture cube, they move like a clock dial, and you have to do a different pattern to make sure that they turn in the right direction to match up with the picture cube. It's a Rubiks cube with pictures all around it, or Christmas ornaments and stuff. Christmas tree, Christmas bulb, Santa Claus, and all that. The Rocks kids, when they were younger, they were getting ready to do their Christmas tree or something. Hey, Bill, can you solve this? I was like, oh no, a picture cube. And I was praying to Jesus, and somehow I found out a pattern, and I solved it. Hey, he solved it. And Mike Rock said, who all here can solve a Rubik's Cube? Bill, put your hand down. I know you can solve it. Well, anyway, Bill can. So it tells me that his nephews, the Rocks kids, were telling him how I was solving the picture cube for him. Mike Rock once in a while will mix it up, and then he times me solving it. Tommy mixes it up and doesn't time me, and I gotta solve it. And Tommy said, well, it keeps you busy. I go, yeah, but okay. I don't think that's the right way. I think this is the right way. Yep, it puts it in the pattern to get the corners solved. Okay, now work the middles. That's what I call it, the middles. The middles right there. You do the pattern to bring the middles down, but then you do the pattern to put the middles back in. Let's see, anything. Okay, here's one. This goes right here. I could do the middles all the way around, and all of a sudden the whole thing will get done all around the middles, all around the cube. But if I want to do the pattern, then I'll get it solved quicker. There's fully continuum ways to solve it, but one solution. In other words, there's many ways to do it, but one solution is to get all 6 sides solved. There's a lot of ways. I see. Oh, I can't see. I'm glad I found this pattern. Okay. Now let me do that gear solve again. It's I know. When the gear solve it was. I want to prove I can do that pattern. 1, 2, 1, 2. I hope I did it right. Oh, I hope this is it. Oh, no. Well, I got it half right. When you got half a cube done, you know you had it half right. Oh, it was just so close. I've done that one so many times, but I haven't really done it constantly. Well, it's not too far off. All these are in position, but not color line. See how the centers match their correspondence thing? Anyway. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. Which puts it in this pattern, which will put it in the other pattern. Although, I gotta make sure I put it in the right direction. Upward? No. I'll put it like this, but I don't think... I guess I'll see what pattern that puts it. Whenever it keeps putting the same pattern, it means I'm forgetting a pattern. Okay, now it's in the right pattern. Okay, this, I'm missing a center. Blue and yellow. There it is. That's probably why, right? Because I gotta get that center done right. And it looks like I gotta get this one right too. I don't know how I did that. Because that's right. So that tells me I gotta, okay. Always put what you did back in position. Okay, that's right, that's right. One more, there. Sometimes the whole thing gets done. You don't have to do the bottom. It's according to how the cube and what color you pick, it all comes into play. Even when I had a Rubik's cube, pocket chain cube, I got it solved. And it's like we had the missing link, but later on in the dollar store you had the monkey do. It was called the missing link, but they call it monkey do because it was the dollar store one. Alright, where is this? Okay. Now it should make a pattern. Yep, that's the pattern I thought it would. And this should be on home stretch. There we are. Now I'm going to do it again. I know I can do this because I've seen you do it before. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. This looks like this is it. See, I can do it if I practiced the hard one. And then there's the Sam Hong Crazy Sam Solve, Henry Harrius Presents, Crazy Sam Solve, the expansion solve. Reminds me when we're expanding the church at Good News soon. All right, this is where you do this number. And it looks pretty good mix all around. And then you go boom, 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 boom. And it's song. And thanks to Craig Fitting and Cube 52, Kivd and Colin Claus taught the 4-4-6 mix and the 4-4-6 stack. And some other moves. They didn't teach the Decepticon. I sure wish they did. Because that would have been an icing on the cake, cherry on the top. That's where 3 people, one at a time, pick a color. And each time their color appears on the cube, but the other pattern gets mixed up. And then the second person picks a color, and the other color that the other person picked disappears. And then their color pops up. And then the third person picks a color, and then all of a sudden you show the whole cube solved. That is really cool. But anyway, here we go. See, I can only go through regular solid mail. I don't... Kivd and Colin Claus said the DVDs are fading, so they can't do it on DVDs anymore. But see, I lucked out that Stephen Brundage Cube 3 came with a cube and a website and a password. Same for Sam Hung, Crazy Sam Solve, Henry Harriet Presents. It came with a cube, a website, and a password, and I was able to get all the information. Whisk Kevji and Colin Claus would come with a cube, or even without a cube. Just send it in the mail with a website and a password. All I wanted was lecture volume 1, because then I would learn the 446 mix. But thanks to the Cube 52 Craig Petty, I learned a 446 mix and a 466 stack and some pulse shuffle tornado or hurricane mix by Colin Claus. It's pretty clever too. But on the volume 1 of the Refractor series, it also teaches the Decepticon, which would be the icing on the cake, cherry on the top. We only go through solid mail. I wish it would cater to people who don't go online and wait for an email for a download after paying through the internet. Bob goes to regular mail and he signs it, "Please rush," and it comes into regular mail, and if it's for him, he'll get it. If it's for me, through his name, then he'll surprise me and say, "Hey Bill, look behind back there. There's my coat. Can you get it for me?" "Oh, what do you know? There's something right here, a package." "Oh, it's Cube 52, or and then for Stephen Brundage, "Hey Bill, after church, remind me to go to my car." "Okay." And then after church service and then Sunday school, then Bob, you said something to go to your car? "Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me, Bill. I was about to go to the church band. Here's the keys. Can you get what was in there?" "Oh, it's Stephen Brundy's Cube 3 lecture video. It's a cube and it comes with a website and password and a cube." The same way with Sam Hung, he surprised me with it. And for Christmas, he said, "Bill, you don't mind me stop somewhere? I gotta go to someone's house. I gotta deliver a package. Here, hold on to this package. I gotta deliver it to him." So I'm wondering, well, who's this package to? We done locked up the van. Everybody got dropped off. We're in Bob's car driving around. These houses look familiar. "Bob, who are we supposed to deliver to? You see that house right there? Go give it to them." "Bob, I live at the Stories house, 12-mile drive, 23701. "Merry Christmas, Bill." "Oh, Bob, you tricked me. Once a magician, always a magician." That's clever. Anyway, thanks Bob Schofield and Judy Schofield and Peter Schofield and Leslie and JJ and everyone that gave me a good Christmas present. That was a lot of stuff. The chop cup, a high-tech wallet. What was it? Some kind of puzzle, but you could also use those for cups and balls with it. And there was some other things Bob got me. I can't think offhand, but Bob and Judy and all them went hog wild for me. I'm glad they did. I really had a good Jesus birthday Christmas fun. But for Kev G and Colin Claus, they don't go through solid mail, so I'm out of luck. People like us don't get lucky unless you go through regular mail. I mean, they're talking about making a book. I surely hope so. And I hope they put all the Rubiks Cube routines in one book, like an Encyclopedia of Special Levitation book I got. The newer version has the secret to the Zanny Bunny ladder levitation. But everybody's unrevealed that anyway, so, but I have all the original one. Even Mitch Leary says, "Bill, I know you would go spend another $50 for the same book you already got. The only difference that's different between yours and the one I got is that it has the flying carpet, which you already know anyway, because you got a lecture video that Tony has any grand illusion stuff. So I know you have that, but you don't have this anti-bunny ladder levitation, and it's already built anyway out on the internet. So you save your $50. I know you would go buy it. Yeah, you're right, Mitch Larry. I would go buy it. Yeah. He says, you know how a lady necklace looks like? Yeah, you know that little lever? Well, picture it little tiny, and you look at it and you press it, and it opens up a spring uh, door, just like a lady's necklace. When you press that lever, it works on that principle, and then it closes. But it's real tiny, and um, you know, he mentioned some kind of levitation in my book. He said if you look at that pattern, that's how this anti-blinded ladder levitation works. I looked at that, and then I looked at, oh, I get it, Mitch. Thanks. He said, see, Bill, I saved you $50 that you didn't need to go get. Because I know you, if something's new, you'll go buy it like crazy when you already have it at your house. Yeah, you're right. I would have two books. One would be just the flying carpet, which I already know, and the, I wouldn't have this Annie Blandley one on my old one, but the new one I did. But it has everything that's in the other one. It's like the David Copperfield thing. Everything is the same, except if you get the one at Barnes & Noble, you get the Orson Welles one. Now, I gave Tommy the one with the Orson Welles one. I gave with the extra stuff because my niece Bobby gave me one with Thomas and Devin and her friend for Christmas present. She got me the David Copperfield biography book of history of magic and stuff. And I told her in a text, thanks, Bobby, for getting that for me. She goes, Merry Christmas. I said, thanks, Bobby. You too. You all too. Be safe in Christ. God bless. And, what was it? And I said, here, Tommy, you can have the bonus footage of Orson Welles. I went through both of them, and they're all the same, except the only difference is, way in the back, they talk about the Orson Welles thing. Just a little bit. But you can have that. I'll just keep the one Bobby got me, because she got that for me. The one that has Orson Welles, I bought it myself. And Miss Story ordered it and stuff, but this is like a family heirloom. My niece Bobby bought this for me, so it means something to me. Whereas that I bought, see, there's two different things. This Copperfield's hourglass, he said, this is my family heirloom. Anyway, in case people don't believe I know about illusion magics, I have the lecture videos of Paul Gertner's Still in Silver. I got all the Michael Amaro lectures. I got all the Jeff McBride lecture videos. I think I mentioned Michael Amaro. Yeah. From cards, coins, all the invisible thread work. And I gave RJ the accounts the originals, but I made copies of myself. I'm glad I did all that because now I have a DVD copy and I gave them the originals. RJ was amazed I gave him the original. I said, well, that's how I work. I just make copies, let people have the original. But anyway, I know DVDs are going to be fading out. I don't know what we're going to do with all these DVDs. I mean, some of these, not the lecture videos, I know that's a no-no. But family outings, Christmas and Thanksgivings and all that stuff could be uploaded on Facebook and YouTube before DVDs fade out. I'm the only one that's got that old laptop that has a CD player in it. I haven't used it in a long time. And I wish Dave Duncan was over here. He'd help make a burner thing for me so I can burn what I record that I stored in my video file onto a blank DVD disc, and then I could have a copy. But although I know DVDs are fading out, but still, at least I'd have that copy in case they bring back the DVDs. I mean, they brought back the record player, and people are now bringing the albums and all that. I can't think of Stacy's boyfriend's name. I had it memorized. Tom and Jerry. Jerry. I gotta think of Tom and Jerry, the kitty cat. Anyway, Jerry has a lot of records, including Elvis, and he's got a record player. So they're bringing back the record players. Maybe they'll bring back the DVD recorder. I don't know. They got Blu-ray DVD players now, but I wish they'd make a Blu-ray DVD recorder. But anyway, and make it compatible to regular DVDs. Make it video format, because it'd be more compatible. Tommy has a Blu-ray player, but it's not compatible to the MP3 or MP4 video format from my video camera. But my Blu-ray player must be high-tech, because it'll take it. So it lets me know that not all Blu-rays are equal. Anyway, you get the idea. But like I said, I have a Stanion book. It's so huge. Stanion book of magic. And every magician, when I see them in person or through the internet, even Mitch Leary, said they all say the same thing. Bill, you know, that book is so thick that you could eat your breakfast, lunch, dinner, and supper on it. I said, yeah. Every magician I cut, you told me that, Mitch. And the guy that does the Shelley card trick, where the sign card appears in a medium-sized seashell idea, using the Mercury card fold idea, and a guy that does the soul passage illusion, and all this stuff, and McDonald Canaric, whatever. He's now got a YouTube channel, but I've seen him in person. He takes stuff, a plunger and all that, and he makes a makeshift vanishing table using black art principle and all that stuff. He's really good. McDonald Canaric, yeah. And some others. And Mary Ann me and Bob went to his lecture, but he did like a Star Wars thing. And with his fingers, he even made it look like his fingers was doing a zigzag idea. I don't know how he did that. I mean, he taught it, but I can't remember how it went. But Bob did buy some stuff there for me, including a book test, my reading book test. It's called Walking on Water, Walking on Water. And I get the title, Miranda did that, because it's right in your face. It don't matter what book anybody picks, you can read their mind. I still got that book. It's in the garage, because I only have so much room in here. Bob Scuppa gave me tons of genie magazines, and he had some magic magazines. That's when I learned about Donny Osmond is the Great Osmondos, because it said right on the front cover, Donny Osmond, the Great Osmondo, with his sister Marie, and inside magic. He's a magic. He does illusions too. And on the ABC, the magic was it? The Magic of ABC, starring David Copperfield. Donnie and Marie show up on there, and Donnie appeared in one of the Copperfield's illusions. Donnie, how'd you get in there? The Great Osmondos never reveals Copperfield's secrets. And he was dressed up just like Copperfield, and Copperfield was dressed up like Donny Osmond. Marie, and you lift up his. See, I can play Donnie. Look, I got purple socks. He didn't say purple socks. He just pointed. He's got purple socks. Anyway, that's when Copperfield did the illusion where he cuts a person lengthwise. Marie Osmond cuts Copperfield lengthwise. He was going to let a girl get sawed in half lengthwise, and Marie said, "No, let's change it. Change it? We're going to saw the magician in half. The times have changed, Buster." He did it again with someone else, and he gets sawed in half. And instead of Donnie appearing in there, it's Lenny from Lenny and Squiggy of Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley. The guy that plays Lenny also played in a robotic boy. They adopt him, and he learns to be a human boy, and he actually knew the flavor of the ice cream. And what was interesting, the guy that created him didn't put flavor sensors in there. There was another kid that was teaching him how to be a normal kid, because he was saying, "I don't know why the mother I have, she seems to be upset." Well, you don't act like a normal boy. See, I'm human, you're not, but you gotta, the mother wants to help you, and you, since you're a robot, you seem to, in other words, he's like a Data, and Data wants to be human, and it's hard for him because he's a robot. So the boy learns to act like a normal boy, and then the mother can feel comfort for that son. I mean, he purposely missed a ball when he could have had a perfect hit because he's a computer. But he purposely missed the ball and had tears. I don't know how that worked. But then the mother felt sorry for the boy and said, ran over and comforted and said, "Don't worry, everything will be all right." And then the boy that taught him that kind of nodded like, "See, that's how you do it." Anyway, that was a pretty good show. I mean, a pretty good movie. I've got the name of it. I think it's now free on YouTube. Short Circuit movies were good too. Although if they would cut out the foul lingo. I know there's freedom of speech, I know. I get that. But church people, when you try and make something for church people, and it's a funny thing, but they can't watch it. It's like, for example, Pastor Asher said in a message to do about foul lingo, he said that my kids bought a Spider-Man movie, and you'd think that would be innocent. They stick it in, and all of a sudden there's foul lingo left and right. Said, "Hurry up, take that out, your mother's going to hear that." See, and Renee and Pastor Asher, they have 11 children. Now they have a lot of grandchildren now too, because now all their kids are grown up. But when they were little, were teenagers and all that, they would buy, rent those rent-a-box thing to get a DVD. My sister Cheryl did it too. But it's hard for people that doesn't like foul lingos in TV shows and movies. Even Kirk Cameron, who's a born-again Christian, in Growing Pains, there was no foul lingo in that show originally. But someone came in and can sound like them and overdubbed their voice perfectly, and now they every once in a while will say a foul lingo. And Kirk Cameron posted, "Hey, I did not say that." See, it's even messing up Christian Hollywood actors. Are like, "Hey, I didn't say that." They have someone who can voice my voice good, and they must pay him enough, and they dubbed me over. Tommy Story was telling us about it, and We were talking about it in Sunday school, how people do stuff like that. I was telling Richard Phoebus that um, it's getting worse. God says when it gets like in the days of Noah, and I think he said like Sodom and Gomorrah too, I think. Um, those are clues that he's getting close to coming back to take us Christians, born again Christians, with him. Pastor, you can blink your eye. It'll be a twinkle of an eye. Pastor, after you go to turn, boom, we're gone. The ones that weren't saved are left behind. They had all that time to get saved and they didn't do it, and they wish they would have learned. Now, there is going to be a time that kids that are born after the rapture, Jesus Christ, Lord Savior God, is going to give them a chance to get saved too. But even in that time, even though the situation, there are people who accept Christ or deny Christ. God knows all, sees all, He knows it all. Anyway, He had a backup plan in case Adam and Eve test of the fruit do not eat up. He was doing a test, and they didn't follow what He said, and then they were kicked out, and they had to put a force shield around it. And the flying serpent snake now crawls on the ground. The snake crawls on the ground. It doesn't have wings. Now there are gliding snakes that go from tree to trees, and now I hear that some snakes can actually crawl up on a roof. And I'm thinking, all the times I cleaned the gutter out, I'm glad Jesus kept me safe, because I'd hate to get bit by a snake. That wouldn't be good. And I didn't know there was grizzly bears around here in Virginia. As much as I go out there at night when I take Bubbo the dog out until he gets done and come back. My dad, Marcel Frank DePay Jr. would say, "Bill, take the dog out." Okay. Not even thinking there would be a bear there. There could, and now years later,